A month after work began on what will be the largest mural ever painted in Kelowna, work is nearing completion, and we took this opportunity to talk to the artists involved.
It's a bit of a painstaking process, but it's fun. So what we do is we do all the design work small scale on our computers and our tablets. This is one of the things we're teaching with the students as well. Is like we would design it in the same way a graphic artist would work through their process of designing a logo or things like that on Photoshop, Illustrator, Procreate, programs like that. And then once we have the composition that fits the architecture, because the rectangle is so wide, it's such a wide panoramic, it's almost 5-to-1 ratio for the scale. We have to design a work that really makes sense within that really long rectangle. Because like when you're making a canvas for home or taking a photograph, this is much more of a panoramic.
It's quite a strip. And then, okay, the student element here, Victoria, I'll ask you, how does it feel to, take a brush to something, on this sort of scale?
It's amazing. I mean, I don't typically work in paint. I also don't typically work this large. I'm a sculpture student in the master's program at UBCO. So having the opportunity to work with David and Jordan and the other students, I mean, we have a big group this year, bigger than past groups I've heard. So you're really a part of a team, and you're really making sure that, you're working with one another, you're communicating with one another. It's like, it's a team sport. Like you're not just on your own focusing on something, but in a way too, you do get into your own little niche and you get really focused. I was working on the bark earlier, and you just gotta focus in and do something really detailed,
nice
beautiful bark.
So there's opportunities for some real creative input. It's not entirely paint by number.
No, not at all. I mean, David and Jordan have been showing us different brush techniques to make sure we can round out some of the details as we get closer in, especially at this stage in the game where we're getting more focused on the details. And yeah, we have our own creative licenses as we go, and we in the morning we have a little jam sesh and we give our own suggestions as to what's working, what's not working, where we can go next. So it's a collaboration. It's great. Yeah.
On that point, when we're doing the design work, the initial drawing that we talked about earlier that we project up, when we do that, we really leave it there's quite a bit of openness. We just have all of our main design elements kind of in play, knowing that the best development is in person on the wall, because the scale shift between 1 inch to a meter, when you get down to the size of this, things transform quite differently. And when you start to make things out of paint instead of making them on your computer screen, they have a different look. So this is reflected light versus projected light when you're doing your design work in the dark at home. When you're out here, you're looking at reflective light, you're looking at how the light changes during the day. So as a group, we're always looking around from different parts in the parking lot and kind of being like, does that make sense from over here? Is that the right color? And so we really try and encourage the students to partake in really kind of in the kind of designing process. So we're like, oh, should we move this to, make his legs bigger, make his legs smaller, cut his hair off or whatever.
And this involved, I guess, discussions with Stober and then the owner of this business as well.
Yeah. So we have the Stewart family and the Stober family. We have the Stober Group or Stober Construction as our partner on the project the last 2 years, which is really cool. And so right now we're working at the Landmark District, which is a Stober project. And there's a variety of small businesses and restaurants up front here. And it's kind of, we're working in the parking lot, which has got great view from the highway, but it really is for all the people that come and frequent this kind of small session of restaurants. It really is exciting for them because they're coming in every day. Like the spin cycle class every morning comes in and gets to see us update a little bit more every day as we refine it. And so yeah, it's a really big community that kind of gets involved for this.
So many people are going to see your work, Victoria.
I know, it's crazy. It's an excellent opportunity. Any chance to work with the duties and any chance to, get your art out in public and get that experience is really great.